Hello my friends, and today the front line has turned into a real battlefield. Let's start right away with the Siversk direction. Maximum pressure has begun here. The occupiers are storming Bilohorivka with a significant concentration of forces. Moreover, they are attempting to create a wedge between Verkhniokamianske and Bilohorivka. They are also trying to advance through the forest towards Serebryanka. Additionally, there is a massive amount of shelling across the entire front line, so it's challenging to predict the outcome of these Russian attacks at the moment. However, there is no doubt that the Russians have accumulated forces and prepared for a major offensive. It's crucial to emphasize that compared to our counteroffensive, they have gathered forces several times more. There is also significant intensification in the Kupiansk area. The occupiers have initiated assaults on the villages of Torske, Yampolivka and Terne. Meanwhile, they are shelling along the entire front line. In the Svatove area, the situation remains tense, with ongoing shelling reported in Berestove. In the Kupiansk direction, the occupiers failed to break through near Petropavlivka, but they continue to assault Synkivka with no changes reported in the last day. In the Bakhmut direction, the activity is very high. The occupiers are assaulting Ukrainian positions near the village of Ivanivske, attempting to get as close as possible to its capture. Difficult battles are also taking place near Klishchiivka and Andriivka. So far, there are no changes within the day, but the situation is complex, and tactically, they are trying to advance position by position. Ukrainian Armed Forces report that 10 tanks are involved in the attacks, indicating a significant presence of Russian vehicles. So it contradicts media claims that 90% of Russian tanks have already been destroyed, considered cheap fakes for increased viewership. Unofficial sources today report that in Bohdanivka, the occupiers are making progress, and there is movement over a few hundred meters. However, I wouldn't rush to conclusions and will wait for official data. Meanwhile, in Avdiivka, it can be said that the same scenario as the beginning of the offensive is repeating. Maximum activation again, with attacks on 8 different fronts and a massive shelling. There have been 31 attacks in the last day, so it's evident that something terrible is happening. Offensive actions are taking place in the areas of Novobakhmutivka, Stepove and the coke and chemical plant. Attacks from the east target the outskirts of Avdiivka, and battles continue near the industrial zone. On the southern flank, assaults on Severne, Prvomaiske and Nevelske, with shelling not only along the front line, but also in the rear. Kharkivka is also under fire. And if you thought that's all, you're mistaken. There is a significant intensification of Russian forces in the Marinka area. Everything that can be shelled is under attack, with only the most powerful strikes marked on the map. In reality, there are many more. Shelling has also increased in Kurakhove, which is their main target after Marinka. Assaults are directed towards Georgievka, Krasnohorivka, the village of Pobeda, and attempts to storm Novobakhmutivka from 2 sides simultaneously. In the Vuhledar direction, things remain relatively calm for now. Shelling continues at the same intensity, but no offensive actions are conducted, and the front line remains unchanged. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, The occupiers persistently assault Ukrainian positions near Robotyne and Verbove. The number of shelling along the front line has increased, but it doesn't lead to success for the occupiers. The front line remains unchanged. In the Kherson direction, despite Russian correspondents' claims that shelling will soon stop due to the destruction of Russian aviation, there is no evidence of this yet. Strikes continue unabated on the right bank. On the left bank, Ukrainian Armed Forces maintain offensive positions, but the occupiers don't cease their offensive actions. Russian military correspondents describe today's situation as follows.
Everything is the same. Unsuccessful assaults on the village of Kherson continue. However, today there was only one assault. Guys from the 328th Airborne Assault Regiment of the 104th Airborne Assault Regiment went to the assault. But what we were especially pleased with was the fact that our artillery worked powerfully on the enemy's bridgehead today. We dare to hope that our posts about the lack of artillery support somehow influenced today's decision to finally provide it.
Overall, there is success on the side of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, but as you've seen, along the rest of the front line, the situation is extremely challenging. Additionally, today, the number of shelling from Russian territory on bordering towns in the Sumy and Kharkiv regions has increased. Several strikes were also reported in the Chernihiv region. Some Ukrainian military personnel are skeptical about the possibility of a Russian offensive, questioning where they would find the additional forces. However, given the significant intensification observed across the entire front line today, there are still ample forces at their disposal. Continuous underestimation of the opponent often leads to surprise. Therefore, whether there will be an offensive in the Kharkiv or Sumy regions remains uncertain for now. In Switzerland, a new meeting of leaders, advisors on the formula for peace is taking place, and President Zelensky provided more detailed information in his address.
I wish you health, fellow Ukrainians. A few summaries of the day. Today, a new meeting of advisors to the heads of state on the peace formula is taking place in Switzerland. This is the fourth such meeting, and it is extremely important that each one brings together more participants. More than 80 states and international organizations are now represented. And not only our usual partners in Europe and North America, but also states from Latin America, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. This is a representative meeting. I am grateful to every leader and every country that takes part in this joint work of ours and confirms by their participation that the rules-based world order must be restored for everyone on Earth without exception. The rulers of Russia think that with violence and terror, with their lies and cruelty, they can impose some other predatory world order, a world order without rules, without any security guarantees. It is precisely their confidence, the confidence of murderers, that we are now collectively reducing. With each meeting, for the sake of normal international law, by constantly expanding our international work to new regions and new states.
And that's all from me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.